from the University of North Carolina School of Media and Journalism, covering the full range of Tar Heel athletics. This is Sports Extra. May has the shotgun snap. Pressure coming. Rolls to the right. Goes to the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown, Antoine Green! 16 seconds to go. No flag. Look at that dude! Oh, look at the dude! Oh, 1, 2, 3. I'm a Tar Heel boy. I'm a Tar Heel great. And red I got. I'm a Tar Heel great. So Rock Carolina, Rock Carolina, Rock Carolina. Go to hell, dude!
The clanging of the victory bell could be heard throughout Chapel Hill this weekend, as UNC Duke served as the main event for an eventful weekend of Carolina athletics. Welcome to Sports Extra. I'm Barbara Joy Tillman.
And I'm Isabella Yeskos. Thanks for joining us. It was a back-and-forth battle in Durham, but the victory bell will stay in Chapel Hill another year as the Tar Heels knock off the Blue Devils. The Tar Heels started off the game hot as Drake May hit a wide-open Kamari Morales for an early touchdown. After Duke answered with back-to-back touchdowns, Carolina drove down the field and finished it off with a Caleb Hood receiving touchdown to go into halftime down 21-17. The third quarter was dominated by the Tar Heels and Elijah Green as he had back-to-back rushing touchdowns. After a missed Duke field goal, May marched UNC down the field and found Antoine Green with some toe drag swag in the corner of the end zone, giving Carolina a late 38-35 lead. Will Hardy sealed the deal with an interception that will keep the victory bell in Chapel Hill where it belongs.
It's like so many of the Carolina Duke games. Both teams fought their guts out. Momentum changed back and forth, and what a finish.
Our offensive player of the game is redshirt freshman Drake May as he showed out once again in the win at Duke. May finished with 450 all-purpose yards and 3 touchdowns. May can also do it on the ground as he rushed for 70 yards on 18 carries. This pass to Caleb Hood was one of 3 touchdown passes. May is tied for first in the country with 24 passing touchdowns.
Our defensive player of the week is DeAndre Boykins, and he was a threat to Duke's offense on Saturday. The sophomore recorded 7 tackles, 5 of which were solo tackles. Boykins added a sack on the day, his second of the year, as he makes his presence known as a force in the struggling secondary. To talk more about Carolina's battle against Duke on Saturday, here's football analyst Jay Banzit. Jay?
That's right, Barbara. The Heels followed their usual script of drama, and more drama on Saturday night. And let's take a look at 3 plays that define this year's edition of Duke and Carolina. So we'll skip to 2.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Duke is going to score a touchdown. It looks like Duke is going to win the game. They're going to go up double digits, and Carolina's going to get the ball back, trying to score. Will Hardy gets beat over the edge. Duke scores a touchdown. Whatever. But hold on. There is yellow laundry on the field. Where did it happen? Up here at the top of the picture. Here comes Ced Gray off the edge. This back is going to go low right there, take out his knees, and this tackle is going to go high. That is called a chop block. That's a 15-yard penalty, correctly called by the officiating staff. And Duke's penalty got wiped off the board. This field goal is going to go wide right because they had to go back 15 yards, and Carolina has life. What's going to happen? Drake May, we're going to skip all the way down to the other end of the field. Josh Downs obviously circled on the broadcast. They know how important he is. He's up here in the slot. Duke is going to roll all coverage to the top of the screen, which makes sense. Bryson Nesbitt right here. JJ talks about him all the time. Extreme mismatch in the slot. Josh is going to come underneath here, look for this. But here's your matchup. One-on-one down here at the bottom of the screen. Antoine Green against the Duke corner. No help. That safety's coming down. This backer comes free against Drake, so he's going to get to the edge and be able to make this throw. As you'll see, Antoine Green is going to be down here, run a fade. Twan toe tap, gets his feet inbounds for the touchdown. You'll see it again. This Duke defender, I love this image. He already knows he's given up the touchdown. Surrender Cobra already. We'll see it again. Stem inside, break it outside. He's going to give a little shove to him, but you'll see here there is room right there between his feet and the sideline, and he'll make the catch for the touchdown. And then the game-sealing play, Noah Taylor is going to get his hand on this ball. He's going to spy right here. He's not pressuring. Going to get both hands up, use his athleticism, jump in the air, knock the ball up. Will Hardy's going to make the pick. You'll see a second angle of it. Will Hardy, the freshman from Georgia. Noah Taylor gets his hand on it. Ball flutters up in the air, and Will Hardy makes the pick. The Victory will be staying in Chapel Hill for the 4th straight year. And with the Heels now 6-1, not only a bowl game's in sight, but also a potential ACC championship berth. They'll look to clinch that berth next weekend against Pittsburgh in Kenan Stadium and eventually, hopefully, play Clemson in the ACC championship. BJ?
Thanks, Jay. Now let's see what some Carolina fans had to say about keeping the bell in Chapel Hill. Football writer Chris Vanini reminded us of some of the sweet victories Carolina has had over Duke in the past year.
I mean, BJ, is it now fair to say that Duke is our little brother, kind of like NC State already is?
And former Tar Heel and NFL wide receiver Ryan Switzer made a big statement about the redshirt freshman that we all know.
BJ, I see no lies in this tweet. Show me where he's lying. I got nothing.
And the only thing that former Tar Heel and NFL linebacker Trey Boston could do was echo his name.
Drake May. There is nothing else you can say about May and his performance so far this season. That's why there's so much Heisman hype.
And Carolina basketball superstar Armando Bacot only had one line. And I mean, Bella, we couldn't agree more.
I mean, Josh Downs is really good at football, but dare we say exceptional?
And the love was reciprocated by Josh Downs. I mean, making the bromance that we didn't even know we needed.
Real recognizes real, if you know what I mean.
And lastly, the famous trio we know all too well.
You know, they got that dog in them. You see 1, 2, 3 dogs. But you know who else has that dog in him? Head coach Mac Brown, who is looking to lead the number 22 Tar Heels to UNC's 7th win against Pittsburgh next Saturday. Last week, some former UNC football players showed out in the NFL. It started on Thursday when Cole Holcomb led the Washington Commanders with 12 tackles in their win against the Chicago Bears. Clutch quarterbacking ran through the veins of Mitch Trubisky. Coming off the bench for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Trubisky threw for 144 yards and a touchdown to upset the Buccaneers 20-18.
The NFL isn't the only place in the professional world where Tar Heel football players can be found. Reporter Tally Hagler has the story on one former player who's found a home outside of the sport.
Jalen Nixon came to UNC in 2018 as preferred walk-on on the football team.
I didn't have everyone coming, calling my name, trying to get me to come to their school. And then finally got a lucky hit, I guess you could call it, with Carolina.
During his first year on the team, Jalen learned to rise to the competition and worked hard to prove his abilities as a wide receiver.
It's tough. It's a grind. So coming in, you already know you're the odd man out. You're looked at as beneath them, of course, because you're not on scholarship.
One day in practice, however, the unexpected happened.
I got hit and all my extremities went numb, and I didn't really understand what was going on at the time. I thought it was just like a freak accident.
Jalen was then faced with a harsh reality. He would never play football again.
They basically found out that I was born with a condition called spinal stenosis, which is basically a narrow spinal canal. So it doesn't allow your spinal cord to move as freely as it should.
Despite no longer being able to play football, Jalen decided to continue his education at UNC and pursue a degree in economics.
A lot of people, they asked me, they was like, are you going to stay at UNC? I was like, why would I leave? It's a great school, got a great education. Even though I couldn't play football anymore, it was the right decision.
Through this setback, Jalen learned the importance of resilience and relying on the people around you for support.
It can be tough and it can look like there's no way out. But you have a support system through your friends and family that'll help you get through anything.
Although his plans drastically changed, Jalen was able to make the most of his situation and graduate in May of last year. This is Tally Hagler reporting.
Jalen now works as a financial representative at Northwestern Mutual, thanks to his education at UNC. The UNC field hockey team crushed the Syracuse Orange at Karen Shelton Stadium Friday afternoon, and it was over before the half. Sitka Bruning got the Tar Heels on the board early with a sweeping shot. The Heels continued their powerful offense in the first half with a putback goal from forward Kennedy Cliggett and a tap-in score by midfielder Riley Heck off a cross from forward Aaron Matson, who broke the ACC all-time points record with the assist. Carolina kept the momentum going in the second half with an easy goal by Matson off a great pass from Heck. Heck later flipped the ball into the roof of the cage to complete the hat trick and secure the 6-1 victory for the Heels.
Coach got the ball for me, which is really special. So it was all just like really surreal, memorable. Bubba said congrats. I mentioned it to him. Like, I'm glad it happened here. It's a lot more special than being on the road or anything, obviously. So just a really great afternoon. And, the 6-1 win is the biggest deal of the day. So there's a statement game, and we came out and played together, had a lot of fun. And, yeah, it's just a great afternoon.
She's meant the world to our team these last years. And she's an exceptional player and an exceptional human being.
For more on how UNC bullied Syracuse and Aaron Matson's record performance, we go live to field hockey analyst Caroline Yaffa. Caroline?
Bella, for the third time in 5 years, the Tar Heels have moved to 12-0 on the season. It has, and I will say it time and time again, it will always be the Aaron Matson show. And on Friday afternoon against Syracuse, Matson proved her dominance and achieved greatness. Making the assist for her 307th point during her last season, she stands alone as the Atlantic Coast Conference's career points leader. Talk about an accomplishment. Freshman Riley Heck also added to her field hockey resume as she had her first career hat trick. Coach Shelton was extremely proud of the hard work and the quality of goals the Heels produced, but let's talk about this Tar Heel passing. I don't know how they do it, but the Carolina field hockey team always finds each other in the circle. Their precision and execution are flawless. From close to the half field mark, Bruning was able to see Heck, even with a defender on her. You see her just have Heck able to tap the ball in because you can't shoot without the ball being tapped in from this point. For her final goal, Heck made it 5-0 when Ricardo was able to see her through two orange defenders. The cross was an effortless backhand. Here are the two defenders right there. Everyone should join me in coming out to support the Heels for Matson's second to last home game of the season on Friday at 4 p.m. North Carolina faces 6th-ranked Virginia, but even though the Hoos are 2-3 when they don't play in Charlottesville, Carolina still has to bring its A game. It will be Socktober at Karen Sheldon Stadium, so get ready for some UNC Sox. BJ?
Thanks, Caroline. On Friday, the UNC women's soccer team took on in-state rival Wake Forest. The name of the game in the first half was defense, with strong defensive plays from both teams. The Heels broke through the Deacons' iron wall when Hansen scored the first and only goal of the game off a penalty kick early in the second half, securing the 1-0 victory for the Heels in their last game of the regular season.
These are something that have been, like a sore spot for me. The one that I did miss was tough, and so I think just going up there and being confident in myself was really important and lucky.
Let's go now to soccer analyst Olivia Mundorf live in studio. Olivia?
Bella, the story of the season for this team has been the offense, which has outscored opponents 36-9 and is averaging more than 18 shots per game. But on Friday night, it was all about the defense, which led the Heels to their third consecutive shutout win. The Demon Deacons were allowed only one shot in the first half, but were more aggressive toward the goal in the second. Wake's best chance to tie it came 15 minutes into the second half, off the corner kick that was initially headed off by Emily Moxley in the line of the goal, which gives the Demon Deacons a chance to head it in themselves. But as we see here, 6 Tar Heels are packed right by the goal line to create an unstoppable line of defense to eventually kick the ball back out and keep Wake from scoring. Just minutes later, Wake attempted a similar play, this time firing the ball from the sideline to put it in the box. And again, as we see here, multiple Tar Heels move back toward the goal line to outnumber the Demon Deacons, create enough pressure to keep the ball from crossing that line, and eventually kick it back out to keep the shutout intact. One of the most consistent defensive players for the Heels has been Tori Hansen, who was able to score on the penalty kick to put the Heels on the board for the only goal of the game. Hansen takes this ball into the back right corner of the net, and when the goalie goes the opposite way, the Heels take the lead for Hansen's 5th goal of the season to earn the victory on senior night. To continue the win streak, the Heels will need to bring this dominant defense with them when they travel to the Sunshine State to take on Florida State on Thursday and Miami on Sunday. Bella?
Thanks, Olivia. The UNC men's soccer team faced not our rival NC State on Friday. Carolina looked to make it 3 conference wins in a row. State started the action off by scoring a goal off a free kick in the 13th minute. The Heels retaliated quickly with Till Zinhart scoring off a free kick outside the box in the 19th minute. The Wolfpack finished the half strong with another goal off the set piece in the 40th minute. In the second half, Ernest Bawa came in, and 27 seconds after he took the field, he was able to score the Tar Heel equalizer to tie the match 2-2. And that's how it ended for the Heels, their 3rd draw of the season.
Prior to the football's team trip up to Durham, the Diamond Heels welcomed the Duke baseball team to Chapel Hill on Friday night for a 2-game scrimmage to wrap up the fall season. In Game 1, the Heels were impressive on the mound. Returning pitchers Max Carlson and Dalton Pence would each throw 2 scoreless innings. Graduate transfer Kevin Acey would add a scoreless inning of his own, including the strikeout to end the inning. The Heels would push across a pair of runs and take the game 2-0, but the Blue Devils would take the next game 6-2. After knocking out top-ranked NC State in the semifinals, doubles partners Fiona Crawley and Carson Tangalig took home the win in the ITA Regional Championships. The Heels defeated rivals Duke 6-3 and 6-1. Crawley led the way with the stellar performance at the service line. Exceptional court awareness from Tangalig allowed the Heels to seal the victory. The women's tennis team will compete in the Jimmy Powell Invitational next weekend as final preparation for the ITA National Fall Championships.
Both UNC cross-country teams took a trip to Wisconsin to try to continue their hot starts in the Nutty Comb Invitational. The UNC women's cross-country team finished 6th on Friday. The sophomores stood out with Bryn Brown placing 19th overall and Sarah Traynor placing 10th in Race B. The UNC men's cross-country team placed 14th overall. Sophomore Parker Wolf had an impressive time of 23:17.9, earning himself a 6th place finish. The Tar Heels will be back in action October 28th for the ACC Championships. The UNC volleyball team got out the brooms for their 6th sweep of the season against Boston College on Friday night. The Heels were untouchable, defeating the Eagles in 3 straight sets, 25-15, 25-21, and 25-18. Sophomore Mabry Schaffmaster once again led the Heels in kills with 12, and Kaya Merkler was second with 9. The Heels were electric, outpacing the Eagles in points, kills, aces, blocks, assists, and digs. On Sunday afternoon against Syracuse, the momentum continued early in the match as UNC came out and dominated set 1 to take an early lead. Schaffmaster, Nigo, and Merkler once again led the way for the Tar Heels, each with double-digit kills. After dropping the second and third sets, Carolina came out swinging in the 4th set, but were unable to finish the job, falling to the Orange in 5. 2 important rivalry matchups await the Heels next weekend as they will face both NC State and Duke on the road.
There was more than one volleyball team in action last week as the UNC club volleyball teams played in its first home tournament of the season. Their mission? To dig pink. Sarah Choi has the story.
When I first walked into Fetzer Gymnasium on Saturday, I saw this sign. That's because, for the first time ever, UNC Club Volleyball hosted a breast cancer awareness tournament. UNC Club Volleyball hosted more than 30 teams across North Carolina and beyond. Teams from Virginia, Tennessee, South Carolina, and Georgia came out to face off against the Heels. To show their support, many teams incorporated pink into their uniforms. The men's A and B teams wore pink bandanas. Team member Hunter Nelson said it's important to raise awareness for breast cancer as people in his life have been affected.
We were given the bandanas early on, and we wanted to, sort of pay homage to all the people that are fighting and, continue to fight. So I think it's a really cool recognition thing that we're able to do.
In addition to raising awareness, member Isla Woods said the tournament gave teams the opportunity to see their months of practice pay off and grow closer as a group.
We're really starting to come together as a team, so that's been nice. This tournament was kind of a chance for us to just finally click, and I think we're starting to do that, so that's been really nice to see.
Participating teams opted to go without cash prizes for the winners so that the money could go toward the cause. Through the tournament, UNC Club Volleyball has raised more than $1,500 to support the fight against breast cancer, with hopes to host again in the years to come. I'm Sarah Choi, reporting.
A great event for a great cause. We wish the club volleyball teams luck as they continue their seasons.
Former UNC basketball player and the 15th pick in the 2017 NBA draft, Justin Jackson has bounced around the NBA and is looking to stay put in Boston. In mid-September, the 6'8" forward signed a deal to join the Celtics in training camp and earned a tryout. In the 4 summer league games that Jackson played for Boston, he averaged 15 points. Tar Heel fans hope that Jackson's size and shooting ability from the three-point range will be enough to secure a roster spot. The UNC men's basketball team has added another valuable piece to the 2023 recruiting class with the commitment of 4-star forward Zayden High. High is a 6'9" forward from Spring Branch, Texas, and played high school ball for Arizona Compass Prep in Chandler, Arizona. High is known for his mobility, which can cause matchup problems with other bigs. High also has the ability to stretch the floor and knock down some long-range shots, a skill set head coach Hubert Davis loves to have in his lineup. High joins 5-star combo guard Simeon Wiltshire in the Tar Heels 2023 recruiting class, which currently ranks 20th in the country.
UNC sports had a stellar winning weekend, and the UNC wrestling team was part of that excitement, but not for a big win. The 3-time Missouri State Wrestling champion Hunter Taylor will join the 2024 squad. Taylor has been a multiple-year member of the USA National Wrestling teams and is a back-to-back Fargo All-American and Freestyle champion. He's also ranked on the list of future Olympians. Both the men's and women's swimming and diving teams are ranked in the first national poll. The men's team comes in at 23, while the women start off the season at 17. The Heels had convincing wins against Queens to start the season and will travel to UNCW on Friday.
One group looking to break into the rankings is the women's golf team, which tees off today at the Tar Heel Invitational. The Heels are coming off back-to-back top 3 finishes, including a win at the Ivy League Intercollegiate. Leading the way are Krista Yunkare and Kayla Smith, both of whom have individual wins on the season. Although Chapel Hill is hosting golf this weekend, it'll be at the Governor's Club, away from the friendly confines of the Finley Golf Course. Reporter Kyle Ennis has more about the future of the home for the Tar Heels.
Located on Finley Road, just minutes from campus, UNC's Finley Golf Course has stood the test of time. The course was first opened in 1949 by Raleigh businessman A.E. Finley. The most recent renovation project was completed in 1999.
Incorporated design that allows, an enjoyment from every level of player, from a beginning player to an intermediate to even an advanced player, such as our golf teams and/or even some professional events.
The course is completely removing holes 10 and 11 and replacing them with brand new varsity practice facilities equipped with tons of new greens, hitting bays, and wedge ranges. This is going to change the game for the Carolina teams.
Being able to recreate different lies, play our own little course, if you will, so that we are not, we're able to do that regardless of if there's people on the course or not, or any sort of event.
The changes will entice classes of recruits for years to come.
This is part of where they're going to be spending majority of the 4 years that they're going to be here. So I think it's imperative to not only keep up with all of the rest of the universities, but to go a step further.
That step further can raise the bar of where Finley can go.
I think it's something that we want to be hosting a lot of NCAA regionals for years to come on the men's and women's side.
That first regional is scheduled for May 2024. But for now, the golf course will reopen late into the summer of 2023.
For one final ball at the Chapman Center, let's send it off in good fashion. Reporting, I'm Kyle Ennis.
BJ, I don't know about you, but I will be sprinting to the pit after this to get a picture with the victory bell.
Bella, I think I'm going to be right behind you. I definitely want to get a picture with the famous bell. And that does it for this edition of Sports Extra. We'll be back next Monday with all of the highlights from another exciting weekend of Carolina athletics.